Welcome to Scambaiting Emails. Before we dive into today's correspondence with a particularly foul-mouthed scammer, there's something on my mind that I'd like to get off my chest. You know how so many YouTubers ask you to leave a comment beneath their video because they're so interested in your feedback? Probably you're smart enough to realize they don't really care what you think. They want you to leave a comment so it will boost their video's visibility by impressing the almighty algorithm. If you find that kind of manipulative request to be annoying, please go ahead and say so in your own comment beneath this video. If enough people make their voices heard by leaving a comment below, together we can send a message to YouTubers who cynically and manipulatively pretend to care about what you think. And now, it's possible that today's scammer doesn't quite understand how to utilize the subject line of an email. Here's the subject line of their opening message, all in capital letters. Fund Reconciliation Department, Internal Revenue Services and Department of Treasury Accessibility, United States, Fund Released Order. This scammer also hasn't yet mastered the art of writing an email concisely enough that any human would be likely to read it. 870 words that, according to Grammarly, would take more than 3 minutes for the recipient to read, if indeed the recipient wanted to know what this complete stranger has to say. Here, you be the judge. The email begins, "In adherence to the specifications of the United States government, the management of the Fund Reconciliation Department here in New York, USA, wishes to let you know that your fund, totaling the amount of $10.5 million, is long overdue. Every precept regarding your funds has been concluded. You will be receiving your funds from this office any moment from now. We shall keep a document report of every transaction done here in the USA. Investigations gathered by the Fund Regulatory Agency, IMF, shows you have been receiving numerous emails from several offices requesting you to claim your funds. In some cases, you tried a lot, but still the transfer or delivery was not completed due to one reason or the other. The fact is that you are stuck between the chains which make it impossible for you to differentiate the real office from its counterfeit. I know you will be expecting to hear from me regarding this delivery after the last attempt to get it over. The fact is that I understand you've been into so many transactions, and I decided to stay clear so that you will understand the truth about everything going on within the Internet. We learned that the only real office that has ever contacted you in respect to your funds is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It was brought to our notice that the chairperson of the Federal Reserve Bank, Jerome Powell, made voluntary effort to have your funds transferred into your account or delivered to you in form of an ATM Visa card, but couldn't complete the process due to some fallout on your ends as you couldn't meet up with the fee demand for the transfer, so they gave up on you. In a more proper and legalized manner, the Fund Reconciliation Department and the Federal Reserve Bank solicited us to allow your fund to be written as a cashier's check or certified as an ATM Visa card and have it shipped to your home address through USPS Priority Mail Express. This option is considered to be the best, easiest, and the most efficient way to have you get your long-awaited United Nations-approved funds. For the purpose of avoiding double payment on your end, we had an agreement with the IMF and the Federal Reserve Bank to document every charge necessary until your funds worth $10.5 million get to you. The analytical group of the two offices mentioned above estimated an accurate sum of US dollars 89 as the fund release order certificate. So it was constituted and officially submitted to the Court of Justice that the only charge you will ever pay before your package leaves our office here in the USA is US dollars 89, which is the fee for your procurement file to be signed and sent to us here in the USA, after which you'll never spend a dime again. We are a renowned and reputable USA agency, and we don't like undocumented processes. This is why it has to be written down on paper that you will never pay any other money. The US dollar 89 is for Fund Release Order Certificate. The chairperson of the Federal Reserve Bank, Jerome Powell, will be coming to Tennessee in a few days' time, so he will have the power of attorney to stand in and sign on your behalf and bring along with her your procurement file to us here to enable us post your loaded ATM card check to your mailing address without any hitch. You are required to make the administrative payment of $89 for the Fund Released Order Certificate through gift card iTunes of $89 to enable us make the delivery to your designated home address. Here is the email to contact, and he includes an email. Therefore, the days of you being subjected to paying fees after fees is over, as that is the case with some corrupt officials down there in Africa, whom always strive to subject beneficiaries to hard bureaucratic bottlenecks, thereby making it impossible for most innocent USA citizens and the likes to claim what rightfully belongs to them. Thank God that your fund is here in New York, USA. We have decided to follow the USA Constitution so as to ensure that your money is in your hands this week. Without mincing words, it will be desirous if you consciously adhere to the above instruction by remitting the fund released order certificate is calculated to be US $89. You are advised to kindly reply this email with the below details enclosed to help ensure safe mailing of your ATM Visa card. Kindly still update us with 1. Your name, which you prefer we use when shipping your ATM card. 2. Your current mailing delivery address where your ATM card should be mailed. 3. Your private mobile number for the Priority Express mail to contact you when they arrive at your doorstep. Once again, we are sorry for the inconveniences you might have encountered in the past in pursuit of your funds. Now that this office, Fund Reconciliation Department, is involved, you will have no cause to ever regret again as soon as you adhere to the above given instructions. Regards, yours sincerely, IRS Commissioner, Mr. Charles P. Reddick. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, thank you for contacting me. I can tell by the density of your message that it is important. Unfortunately, my accident, for which the CTA was held liable, resulted in a severe and permanent affliction of tired eye syndrome, TES, which I had never even heard of before. But as soon as the ER doctor took a look into my eyes, he could see that my thuggish-ruggish bone had been permanently dislocated, with the result that reading large blocks of text invariably leaves me with a headache like you wouldn't believe. Would it be possible for you to resend your original message to me, but this time broken up into much shorter paragraphs? I realize this means extra work for your secretary, but after all, that's what she's being paid for, so she shouldn't complain about it. If you've never had TES, you'll never know what it feels like. If you imagine that every time you try to read, smoke gets in your eyes, then that's what it's like. Please note, I saw somewhere in there that I am long overdue in paying $10.5 million in taxes. This is the first time I've heard of this. I promise that I never received any earlier delinquent tax notices. Please double-check your files to see if perhaps my identity has been confused with someone else's. As you can imagine, after receiving such a stern warning letter from the IRS, I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax. I promise that I want to help straighten out this entire Megillah quickly and as soon as possible. But first, please resend that original email, but this time with the huge, gigantic paragraphs shortened to just 2 or 3 lines at a time so I can read everything. Thank you for your help and your understanding. I look forward to fixing this matter as exponentially as possible. In sincerity, Rob, or as my friends call me, Rob McClellan. And the next day I followed up with a second email. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I am writing to make sure you received my email yesterday, which was in response to an email you had sent me. Although thanks to my stupid TES, there was a lot of it I couldn't read, from what I could read, it seems to be a very serious matter. The next to the last thing I want to do is get into trouble with the Internal Revenue Service, which is why I am following up yesterday's email with this follow-up email now. Please confirm that you did receive it and let me know what I have to do to straighten out whatever this is all about. Good morning to you, Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert? I got your email that you sent to us here, and I want you to know that your information as in your home address and your going phone number and WhatsApp number is well needed now, okay. Again, as you mentioned of the settlement of the fee for the IRS, now you have to follow up and send the payment. Now it has included with modem bridge, which your fee to pay now is sum of $289 total to settle everything, and you will receive your ATM card package that is here okay. Your urgent response is well needed now. Best regards, Mr. Charles P. 1 minute later, he sends me another copy of that same email, and a minute after that, he sends me a third copy of that email. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, although I did respond twice to your original email, for some reason you have sent your reply to my reply to the wrong person, Mr. Robert. My name, as you know, is Rob or Rob McClellan, or in business communications, Mr. McClellan. I don't know who Mr. Robert is, but it makes me wonder if he's the person who is in trouble with the Internal Revenue Service. I've almost never been in trouble with the IRS, and if it's really a Mr. Robert who owes $10.5 million in taxes, I would be very consternated to have to pay what he owes. Please double-check your files to see if instead of talking to me, you've been trying to reach a Mr. Robert who is a different person from me and with whom I am not acquainted. Please be assured that in no way am I trying to avoid taking responsibility for any financial malfeasance that was malfeased by me. But if you double-check, I won't be surprised if you discover that somehow Mr. Robert's file and my file have gotten mixed up together. Please reply to me as soon as possible so I can stop worrying about this. In sincerity, Rob McClin, also known as Mr. McClin. Your urgent response, he is well needed now to get everything done and for you to receive this ATM card and be free, okay? Okay, now I understand what you mean, my dear. It was I mistake of tapping errors, okay, is your response, and is your funds okay, Mr. McLean? If you want to receive this funds now, do what I asked you to do by sending the payment of $289. That is what you have to do now to receive this funds okay. Get back to me urgently now, please. Your urgent response is will needed now okay. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, thank you for your latest reply. I especially appreciate the way you accommodated my TES by limiting your paragraphs to no more than 3 lines. I am excited to learn that the funds to which you refer are supposed to be mine rather than Mr. Roberts. I certainly know how easy it is to make tapping errors, especially with my medical condition. When I first awakened in the hospital after the surgery, immediately I exclaimed to Dr. Kildare, "Doctor, my eyes!" But thanks to your 3-line, at most, paragraphs, I can see clearly now that indeed I, not Mr. Robert, was the intended recipient of your missive all along. Do you remember the first email you sent me, the one with the really big paragraphs that I was unable to read due to a medical condition I have called TES? My 2 doors down neighbor, on my left side, Mr. Novak, was kind enough to read it to me so that I could understand everything. I have just 2 more questions that I'm sure you can answer, even though I can't. 1. What did I do to qualify for the funds worth $10.5 million? I mean, that's a lot of money if I do say so myself. If someone wants to give me $10.5 million, I have to ask myself, why me, Lord? Please do not misunderstand me incorrectly. I would be glad to receive $10.5 million, but for my awareness, I should know why it is being sent to me. 2. In your first email that you originally sent me, you said the only charge I will ever pay before my package leaves the office here in the USA is US $89. But in your newest email, you say my fee to pay now is sum of $289 total. Why did my fee jump from $89 to $289? That's a jump of almost $200, which sounds like a lot just for modem ridge. With all the due respect you are due, unless I'm daydreaming, I think there ain't no way the modem ridge can have increased 324%. Would you please double-check your arithmetic? I say a little prayer that you will discover that someone erroneously made a mistake and that the fee I am supposed to pay is $89 and not the much larger amount of $289. At the moment, my account at Bailey Building and Loan is running on empty with $93 in savings. Unless I get super lucky and catch a falling star, figuratively speaking, it's impossible for me to send you $289 right now, but $89 is possible, I guess. 3. You mentioned that you'll be sending me an ATM Visa card package. Unlike many of the younger people who often gather on my lawn, I've never owned an ATM card or even operated an ATM machine. When I need cash, I just give the bank a check and they give me the cash. I suppose I could try to be more with it, or hep, as the kids say, but when you've been doing something the same way for your entire life, you discover that sometimes it's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. Once you have confirmed, I hope, that I will need to pay only $89 and not $289, will you be able to send me the $10.5 million not as an ATM, but instead via a different, more traditional method? As always, thank you for your patience in patiently explaining all of these things. I know that for you all of this is easier than a small child's plaything, but to me it's something new and a little bit confusing. Good morning. Good afternoon to you, my dear McLean. Sorry for my late response to your email that you sent to me yesterday. I was so much busy. That is why you did not hear back from me okay. Now, I want you to know that I read your email and I understood it very well okay, but the reason it comes to $289 is because of the demurrage fee and the ownership certificate that our government of the state of America here is also required that you need to get it, because the document will cover you up to use this funds in the state here okay. Now, if you can send the $89 now, then I will deposit it to the authorities and then let me know when to send balance of $200, or if you can come up with only $189, then I will help you with $100 today so we get everything done today, tomorrow, okay. Again, do you like bank check to be sent to you? If you don't need ATM card, okay. Get back to me here urgent now. Again, your full information is well needed now, your phone number and your occupation and your WhatsApp number okay. Thanks for your understanding me in this matter. Looking forward to hearing from you again soon today okay. 1 minute later, I received the exact same message, and a minute after that, I received the same message for a third time. 8 minutes later, another email from Mr. Charles P. arrives. Yes, again, my dear McClellan, the question you ask how the funds of $10.5 million comes to your name okay good? It's investment funds won by your email address, and the government chooses to update you and know how you want to receive it okay. There is no problem about this money. It's God's time in your life. God just remembered you to change your life to good. Okay, that is it. Just follow the instructions I give you to receive this funds. Now, okay, you can get an Apple gift card of $189 and send it today so I will balance up the $100 so everything will proceed immediately today, okay? Get back to me urgent now, my dear McClellan. Urgent is well needed now, okay. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I received 5 emails from you on Saturday. To avoid confusion for either or both of us, I will answer them one at a time in the chronological order in which I received them. So if, for example, you asked a question in one of the other 4 mails to which I haven't yet transmogrified, don't worry. I will respond to it just as soon as I get to the particular email in which you asked the question, even though I haven't yet seen it. Regarding the $289 or $89 or $200 or $189 fee, my cousin Vinny, who nearly went to law school, reminded me that in cases such as this, the entire demurrage fee is waived for senior citizens. I know I probably sound much younger, but in fact I am a senior citizen, okay? I realize you did not know that previously, but now that you do, please make note of it in my files as the explanation of why I was not charged a demurrage fee okay. Regarding my full information is well needed now. My phone number, and I give a phone number, because of spam filter tips, automated phone calls are rejected, so please be sure to actually dial my number rather than have some artificially intelligent machine automatically dial it for you. My occupation, retired holistic veterinarian. My WhatsApp number okay. I don't think we have those around here because I've never heard of that kind of number, but most of us do have telephone numbers, including me. Finally, but not last, yes, I do like bank check to be sent to me instead of an ATM machine. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I just now read the second of your 5 emails, and I was surprised to discover that it was 100% identically the same as the first of your 5 emails. I assume you sent me the exact same identical email twice as a way of stressing how important its contents are. While I can't help but admire your thorough anal retentiveness, I also can't help but be reminded of the proverb that rhetorically asks, say something once, why say it again? Rather than have me write in this email what I wrote in the first one, for reassurance of my response to your second email, probably it's best to reread my original reply. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I just now read the third of your 5 emails, and I was very surprised to discover that it was 100% identically the same as the first 2 of your 5 emails. I realize that when you work for the Internal Revenue Service, you have to deal with all kinds of paperwork in a redundant manner, but I assure you that the first time I replied to what you wrote, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. As you know, it's not about what it is, it's about what it can become. But before it can become anything that is mutually satisfactory to both of us, we really do need to move ahead in a forward direction. Right now it feels as though I'm sitting in a railway station, got a ticket to my destination, but the train keeps going in circles. Right now, at this point in time, I think it would be wise for us to ignore the train in the distance, and instead allow the conductor to punch our tickets so we can finish this work promptly. Mr. McClenn, how are you doing today and your family doing too? Do you want to receive this ATM card package? If you want to receive it, then go and send the payment that I told you now, okay? Get back to me urgent now, okay? Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, respectfully, from your latest message, it appears that you have forgotten that you offered to mail me a check instead of an ATM card package. Remember? I realize that in your job you have many things to attend to, and I suppose it's understandable if you mistakenly forget, inadvertently but not on purpose, what to you probably seems like a small detail, but which is a bigger detail to me because I don't have an ATM machine. His response is brief and heartfelt. Look, if you are not ready to pay this fee, don't ever contact me again, okay? F*** you and f*** you and f*** you, okay? Best regards, Mr. Charles P. Reddick. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I just received the most bizarre email that supposedly was sent by you, but obviously was sent by someone who is not you, but who was pretending to be you. It contained the most offensive language I ever have seen, and remember, I'm a veteran of the Eagle Scouts, so I'm accustomed to a certain amount of verbal vulgarity, but not like this. In addition to not beginning the message with a salutation, it says, and I quote word for word, verbatim style, okay, f*** you, and f*** you, and even f*** you okay. Inasmuch as you are the chief of the IRS, you are familiar with their formal guidelines for ethics, behavior, tautology, and the appropriate ways in which to interface with citizens. Obviously, whoever did send that, pretending to be you, never has bothered to read a single page of those formal guidelines, which are enforceable by law. I don't know who it was in your office who has behaved so scurrilously, but with all your resources, I'll bet you can figure out who it was and take appropriate, severe action, including, if appropriate, capital punishment, against the disgusting scalawag. P.S. Did you see my question about the likelihood of my check being delivered by the end of this week? I think it's safe to say that after receiving such a blunt scolding, Charles P. Reddick now will be apologetic and will plead for my forgiveness. You are more than f***ing idiot. Dear Mr. Charles P. Reddick, I am in receipt of your most recent message, and I am both surprised and disappointed by both its content and its tone. I have always endeavored to maintain a courteous correspondence with you, even when previously I received a prior message that contained language so inappropriate that I wondered if it had been sent by an imposter who somehow had gained access to your email account. Regrettably, your latest reply leaves little doubt as to the source. Given your position and the responsibilities it entails, I would have expected a higher standard of professionalism. Please be advised that I am documenting our entire exchange, and that, unless I receive a satisfactory explanation and/or apology, I will have no choice but to forward this correspondence to your supervisor and to the appropriate oversight authorities for review. I trust you understand the seriousness of such a step. That said, I remain willing to resolve this matter amicably and to proceed with the process of transferring the $10.5 million, provided we can return to a respectful and businesslike dialogue. If you are prepared to do so, I would appreciate your response to my earlier questions regarding the requirements for receiving the funds, as well as clarification of the delivery timeline. It's always been my philosophy that it's the fundamental things that apply, especially in a matter such as this one. I look forward to your prompt and professional reply. With a little luck, a reversal of your attitude will enable us to get back to where we once belonged. In sincerity, Rob McClenn. P.S. In case you haven't reviewed your IRS Manager's Guide recently, I am attaching the entire 175-page document. I encourage you to pay particular attention to the rules and guidelines for written civility. And I helpfully attach the 175-page IRS Manager's Guide to Penalty Determinations. I don't know if Charles will be interested in consulting that guide, but if he attempts to open the attached PDF, he might be frustrated by my having locked the file before sending it to him. But I guess I'll never know, because that's the last I've heard from Mr. Charles P. Reddick. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel so you'll know whenever I've added a new Scambaiting email video. If you'll be kind enough to share your comments, suggestions, requests, and reactions to this video in the comments section below, I promise to make sure Rob sees it. It's been an honor to share this Scambaiting adventure with you. In sincerity and on behalf of Rob McClin.